like this thing. Let's murder the guy that created it. Who's gonna make it now, stupid? Like, that's how dumb you sound. We're gonna watch a video about the internet's most toxic fandoms. Now, listen, I've been a part of a few toxic fandoms before, okay? Listen, in the gaming community, every game fandom a little bit toxic, okay? And I grew up playing Wizard 101. The fandom of the game DDoSed the game. The game they like. I'm dead. I'm dead ass. I'm dead. That's how toxic the game was, bro. Okay.
What happens when a fan base is willing to destroy anyone who offends their idol? These are the internet's most toxic fan bases. As usual, we'll rank them from least to most disturbing, reveal some of the darkest
Five Nights at Freddy's is a toxic fandom?
Swifties, the overprotective fan base.
Oh yeah.
This is not an attack on Taylor Swift or her fans in general. Almost every musician has overprotective fans, but with Taylor Swift, there are thousands of them, and they attack anyone who dares criticize her. In 2020, Taylor Swift released an album titled Folklore. As usual, music critics reviewed it, but one review made Taylor's fans mad. It was from a website called Pitchfork, and the interviewer was a woman named Jill. In her interview, Jill praised Taylor's songwriting, but she didn't like everything about the album, so Jill gave it an 8 out of 10. For most people, that was a positive
8 out of 10 and they got harassed? Yo.
Review. But for radical Swifties, an 8 out of 10 was unacceptable. It was an insult. Taylor's fans started ranting online, complaining about the review. Then one of them came up with a bizarre theory, which was that Jill and Pitchfork were trying to sabotage Taylor Swift. By giving Taylor's album a lower score, Pitchfork would drag down the album's overall rating, also known as a metascore. Once that sabotage theory took hold, fans were mad and they attacked. First, someone posted Jill's personal information.
Like, and here's the thing, someone can just not like the thing you do. And like, that doesn't mean it's bad for everyone. Like, yo, I don't like vegetables. I guarantee there's somebody in chat that loves vegetables. Same thing applies with her music, bro. And that's okay. You might like it. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same. Quinn, I love vegetables. How dare you? All right, bro. Go marry that motherfucking VeggieTales, okay?
Online. They leaked her phone number, her address, and even photos of her home. The doxing led to non-stop harassment. Jill got angry calls in the middle of the night. Some callers threatened to burn her house down. She even received death threats.
Like, how inhumane is that, bro? Because they gave the album an 8 out of 10.
About how terrifying it felt. She said that it sucked to be scared of every person milling outside or feel like you can't answer the phone. All of this happened because Jill gave Taylor a good review, but it wasn't good.
And also the thing that pisses me off about a lot of these like pop girlies or whatever is they never shut this down. Never, not once. I've never seen a tweet from any of these people being like, hey, can you stop harassing people that leave reviews about my album? I've never seen them address it. I've never seen Nicki Minaj tell her fans to stop. I've never seen Ariana Grande tell her fans to stop. They had that whole narrative where they were bullying Victoria Justice for years. She never said anything. Crickets, bro. I've never seen Taylor Swift address stuff like that either. Like, and it's not that hard, bro. All you gotta do is make a tweet and be like, hey, can you guys stop? Because you know she knows about this. They definitely know about it. She definitely knows this happened. There's no way she doesn't know this happened. So, especially if it gets that big. And I think their media teams will tell them to stay out of it. And I think, yeah, that's fine. But I think it's a little bit irresponsible. Like, if I saw you guys randomly attacking someone who just said like something that was like a negative review of like a piece of work. They weren't making a negative review of me. They weren't attacking me as a person. They were just saying, hey, I didn't really like this album fully. I would definitely shut that down and be like, yo, stop. Like, it's just an album review, bro. You don't need to ruin their life, right? It's not like they're like attacking them or going for the jugular or like, it's not an attack on character. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't understand why no one ever speaks up and says anything. I think I've seen Selena Gomez do it before. I've seen some people do it before for sure. But it's like, I genuinely feel like you need to just be like, yo, I appreciate the support, but like, you should not harass someone over a piece of art. It's not like you're attacking their character. It's nothing like that. It's a piece of art. And one person I've seen do this a lot, actually, I've seen Doja Cat really like nip people in the butt and be like, stop doing that. Or like, stop feeding into this fandom wars. It's dumb, She's got on record and said that many, many times, bro. And sometimes she gets for it, but like, she's right, bro.
Enough. But Jill wasn't the Swifties' only victim.
Also, I remember there was that whole instance where in Ginny and Georgia, the show, they made the joke about Taylor Swift. And then the actors started getting harassed. And then Taylor Swift didn't say, don't harass the actors. They didn't write the script, but instead fed into it by writing some like offensive little tweets and then fanning the flames to get them even more harassed. She's like, it's classist and sexist. It's like, bro, it's one joke about you in a show and all the actresses are getting attacked for something that they didn't even write in the script. And you're not going to say, hey, I don't appreciate the writing team, but don't harass the actresses. You didn't even say that. You fed into it even more and made it where the actresses got harassed even more. That's irresponsible in my opinion. Like, yeah, you can clap back at the show, but I feel like if you're gonna do that, bro, like you have to be specific with what you're angry about, especially if you know your fans are this vitriolic. Like if you know your fans are this vitriolic, I think it's irresponsible to be like, hey, F this, F that, like without being like, well, maybe they didn't write it. You know, like it's just, I don't appreciate that. And then for you to also then claim you're a victim to like being judged or harassed by people at the same time is insane. It's like, bro, you caused other women to get harassed in the industry while claiming that you support feminism and like all this stuff. It's like, it's kind of backwards to me. It's like you only really care about it when it applies to you, which is why I've always kind of been like, I think she weaponizes feminism to benefit her and only speaks about it when she thinks she needs to be more acknowledged or recognized. I am so fine with feminism and supporting women and undoing inequalities in industries like entertainment. But if you're only gonna weaponize it when it benefits you, that is performative. And that is you essentially like hijacking a bigger social issue to platform yourself, which is a little bit selfish. You know what I'm saying?
2019, comedians Jesus and Mero appeared on The Tonight Show. In a guessing game, Mero made a joke. Some Swifties didn't find it funny. They felt Mero was insulting Taylor's looks. Within hours, the comedians were getting death threats. One crazy fan even threatened Mero's kids. It was so bad that the FBI got involved. But Swifties don't just fight outsiders, they attack their own. That's what happened to a woman named Rita in 2019. Rita wasn't a regular fan. She was so devoted that she ran a Taylor Swift fan page. Her room was filled with Taylor Swift merch, and she posted videos of herself singing Taylor's songs. But some Swifties thought Rita's videos were cringy, like she was embarrassing the fandom, so they spammed Rita's videos with hateful comments, trying to bully her into quitting. When Rita refused to stop, the attacks escalated. Someone tried hacking her phone to take over her social media accounts. Another posted her license plate online, putting her at risk. Rita adored Taylor Swift, but she became an enemy simply because she didn't fit their idea of a proper Swiftie. Loving a musical artist is completely normal, but for radical Swifties, anyone who doesn't meet their standards needs to be silenced. This next fan base kicked their leader off.
See, this is why I'm always like no parasocial, because I don't want anyone ever doing this type of OD random bullshit because of me, bro. That's crazy. I don't care. Like they would have to have personally done something horrible to me for me to even allow or just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing. Like if it's like a minor thing, sure, whatever, but like if it's like getting to that level where like people are doxing people and stuff, I would never just sit by and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like what? And like this is like, it's happened time and time again. And yes, I don't think they should have to address it every single time, but do it once, twice. Don't feed into it. And I think she has fed into it sometimes, not with this fan attacking fan scenario. That's just stay on Twitter being awful. But like with the Ginny and George example, like I feel like she's definitely fed into it sometimes. I'm like, girl, like the same treatment you're complaining about, like these male execs wrote the script for these females to perform, and now you're mad and causing the female to get hate due to something a male did. And you're not seeing that you're perpetuating the same problem. It just doesn't make sense to me.
The internet. Corpse Husband, the fan base that betrayed their idol. Corpse Husband was a faceless YouTuber who got popular in 2020. His main appeal was his
Also,
voice.
I refuse to say these people are his fans too. I think if you lack so much respect for the content creator that you watch, stupid, and you're like, yeah, let me just dox and stalk the person I like so much. You're not a fan, okay? You're not a fan, okay? You're deranged, okay? You're demented, you're sick, all right? You need help, okay? You need a hobby. You need to touch some grass. You definitely don't need to get some ass. That might, you know, that might mess up your brain chemistry a little bit, but like you need to like reconsider a lot.
He had this deep, rumbling voice that sounded unreal. That voice, combined with being faceless, made Corpse a sensation. Fans couldn't see him, so they created a perfect fantasy version of him in their heads. But Corpse was a real person, and he was far from perfect. In interviews, Corpse revealed that his deep voice was partly caused by a medical condition. He also had arm pain that affected his daily life. He struggled with anxiety, and he didn't like talking in public because he was scared someone would recognize his voice. That's why he chose to remain faceless. He wanted privacy so he could manage his personal issues without the stress of fame. But some fans didn't care about his struggles. They just wanted to see his face no matter the cost. In 2021, a photo of a man went viral. People claimed it was Corpse's husband. There was just one problem. The man in the photo, it didn't match the image fans created in their minds. And instead of accepting that, they started mocking the man in the picture. Tweets called him ugly. Some fans unfollowed him.
See, y'all weren't fans, bro. Okay, y'all were weirdos. Respectfully, this is also why I don't fit in the parasocialism, and I tell people like, yo, there's never gonna be no date, no nothing. Okay, because like people get weird, bro. They get weird, and I don't really know why, because I've never been one of these people. I've never even fallen even close to being like one like this. But like people just, they take stuff too far. They get weird. They get overly invested. And it's like, bro, this is like, you don't know this person.
Someone tweeted,
and you're not entitled to
and
anything.
Unfollowed Corpse after seeing that face reveal. Like, I thought it was going to be hot, but he's just some ugly creep.
And he's only creepy to you because you think he's ugly. And this girl doesn't realize, or whoever that is that wrote that doesn't realize, you're being creepy by doxing and looking up his information. You're the creep. You're the creep. You're the creep, not him. You're calling him a creep because of how he naturally looks. You're the creep. You stalked, you doxed, you looked into stuff. You're the creep, bro. Like,
fans were brutal, but the reaction revealed.
And you probably ugly too, honestly, respectfully. I'm not gonna lie. None of these people that are calling him ugly have their face as their profile picture. They have some pop girl or some character. So you probably chopped too, okay?
The truth. Some fans weren't following Corpse for who he was. They were following the fantasy they created. Also, it was never confirmed that the photo was actually
You're definitely chopped if you are gonna talk crap about someone's look and not show your own face.
It might have been mocking a random person. Corpse could have addressed the photo directly, but he didn't. He just started pulling away. He
I wouldn't have addressed it either.
He streamed less, and in November 2021, he uploaded what would become his last regular video. Years later, his fans still miss him. They leave comments begging for his return. But the truth is hard to ignore. The same fans who demand his comeback are the reason he disappeared. This comment summed it up perfectly. He didn't abandon us. We lost him. We truly didn't deserve this man. This next fan base is huge, loud, and always upset. Star Wars, the fan base that's never satisfied. There's a saying that you can't please everyone.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing with Star Wars, bro. Like, okay, if I was a Star Wars fan, I'd be pissed too, because you milking the living out of this franchise to a point where it's like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. No, like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. I don't. Okay? I don't, bro. Well, like, what's happening? Okay? The Clone Wars was peak. Okay? The Mandalorian was okay. Okay? Star Wars Rebels was okay. The first 6 movies were fine. The last 3, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're bugging. Like, we're losing the plot a little bit. Like, what's happening? Like, now, I do not agree with, and if he touches on this, he might. I do not agree with them harassing the actors or actresses of the movie at all, bro. I never liked that. If you have a problem with how a script is written, how something is cast, take it up with the director, bro. Take it up with the director. Take it up with the casting managers. Take it up with the company that put them in the position. They auditioned for an opportunity and they got it. So anyone in their position would take the opportunity to be in a Star Wars movie. Like, let's be so serious. So I don't know why you would ever harass an actor or an actress for doing their job. And also, they didn't even do bad. You just didn't like that they were like not what you would have imagined.
The Star Wars fanbase is proof of that. They've complained about everything: storylines, dialogue, characters, even little things like the color of lightsabers. And when Star Wars fans get upset, they get toxic. Star Wars fans love the original trilogy, but nearly everything released after has been a problem. In 1999, The Phantom Menace hit theaters. It was the first movie after the original trilogy. It was also the first Star Wars movie in 16 years. Fans were excited until they actually saw the movie. Many hated the film. They felt it didn't capture the spirit of the originals. The backlash was so intense.
That movie came out in 1999? Yeah, that movie kind of looked good for 1999. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was in the 2000s for sure, bro.
Nearly ended the franchise. Disliking a movie doesn't make someone toxic, but how some fans expressed their anger was ugly. They started harassing the actors. Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, was their first target because they hated the character. They made Ahmed their punching bag.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the f? They're doing what they were told.
Ahmed's phone number was leaked. His answering machine was filled with death threats. Over time, the harassment broke him. Ahmed became depressed. He was scared to leave his apartment. Jake Lloyd, the child actor, was the next target. He played young Anakin Skywalker. Being a child didn't save him. Some fans hated his acting, so they tried to find his address so they could camp outside his house and confront him. At school, classmates bullied him constantly. He even got death threats. Because of all the negativity, Jake quit acting entirely. But these toxic fans just got worse. Whenever a new Star Wars movie came out,
and like he probably could have been like the next like Timothée Chalamet if he stuck with it or something, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's sad. That is so sad, bro. That is so sad. Anyone that ever starts beef with a kid over stuff like this, you are like one of the lowest forms of human, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, your grown adult ass cannot compartmentalize and sit with your damn emotions enough that you have to take it out on a child. No, you're horrible.
they found something to complain about, and they started to contradict themselves. By the time The Force Awakens came out in 2015, the cycle was obvious. This time, fans said the movie played it too safe. Some claimed it was just a lazy remake of a previous Star Wars film. Because of that feedback, the creators took risks with the next Star Wars movie. They broke away from the classic formula.
Okay, also the problem with the newest trilogy is like the guy said he was just gonna make the first one and then didn't really plan out the next two, and so they just kind of winged it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, listen, what do you expect, bro? Okay, you didn't even have a plan. You didn't even know there was gonna be two more after the first. Like, so I mean, that's why it kind of went to. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brody didn't even have a direction. Like, he was just winging it.
Fans hated that too. Now they said it strayed too far from the originals. It seemed the fan base didn't know what it wanted. And as usual, they didn't just complain. They made life hell for Star Wars actors. They harassed one actress.
Yeah, this is the girl I was talking about. Yeah, well, she did not deserve any hate for that, bro. She got cast and she did her job, bro. Okay, like, what are you talking about? Why is the actors and the actresses your target? Like, they have the least control over what is put in the movie at all, bro. They are miming a character that someone else imagined. That's all they're doing. They're bringing this thing to life.
Her looks. Someone even added offensive comments to her Wikipedia page. She had to quit Instagram to escape the attacks. Daisy Ridley, the lead actress, wasn't spared. Even new characters couldn't escape. In 2022, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series introduced a villain named Reva. Reva was a character that fans have been asking for, but once she appeared, the same fans didn't like her, so they turned on the actress who played Reva. The attacks became so vicious that the show's producer intervened. He told fans, "If you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind." The Star Wars fan base created a lose-lose situation. Play it too safe and they complain. Try something new, they complain louder. It begs the question, if every Star Wars movie makes fans mad, maybe the real problem isn't the movies.
Yeah.
VTubers, the parasocial fan base. For those of you guys who don't know what a VTuber is.
Hey, listen, respectfully, chat, respectfully, during this portion, I'm going to shut up. Okay, listen, I'm going to shut up. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just gonna sit by, and this is his opinion, okay? I have no opinion of this topic. Actually, I don't even know what a VTuber is, for real. Like, hello, I'm doing the Bird Box Challenge. What's going on? I don't know what VTubers are, okay? I don't even, what's a VTuber? Like, what is that? I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what a VTuber is, for real, bro. So, I'm just gonna watch this. Are you able to shut up? No, I'm able to shut up. Just watch.
A VTuber stands for virtual YouTuber.
Yep.
They are streamers who appear online as animated characters instead of showing the real faces. Think of it like digital cosplay. Each VTuber plays a character and fans enjoy the show. But for some fans, watching VTubers isn't just entertainment. Some viewers get obsessed with VTubers. These obsessed fans are known as unicorns. To a unicorn, their favorite VTuber isn't just a character.
At least you got the terminology.
She's their virtual girlfriend. In order to maintain that girlfriend fantasy, the VTuber must stay single. She can't flirt or even speak to another man. If she does, they feel betrayed. And when these obsessive fans feel betrayed, the reaction can be explosive. No VTuber learned that lesson harder than Rushia. Rushia was one of Japan's biggest VTubers with over 1 million subscribers. But many of Rushia's fans were unicorns, so they treated Rushia like she was their girlfriend, like she belonged to them, and that almost ruined her life. The issue started on February 10th, 10th, 2022. Rushia started a live stream. In the middle of her broadcast, a private message popped up on her screen. It was a message her viewers weren't supposed to see, but they did. The message was from Mafu, a Japanese male singer.
What happened to shutting up?
I just finished the live broadcast and I'm getting ready to go home. The text itself wasn't romantic, but there were already rumors that Rushia and Mafu were dating. Now, this message from Mafu appeared on her screen. Her unicorn followers felt lied to. They believed Rushia betrayed them by not being single. Thousands canceled their paid memberships. Some destroyed their Rushia merch. A few even sent threats to both Rushia and Mafu. Rushia tried to calm things down. She swore she wasn't dating anybody, but they refused to
I think most people need to just accept, like, genuinely, like, listen. Your favorite content creator you might think is single. Just, you need to, when you consume content, assume that they're not. It will save you so much trouble, so much time, so much money, so much frustration, and so much hurt, okay? Just assume they're dating someone, okay? They might not be. But if you just assume they are, any problem that would arise from them doing so is already fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's already fixed. That's just my opinion, you know?
To prove her innocence, she posted a screenshot. It was a chat between Rushia and her manager confirming she was single. But posting that chat cost Rushia everything. Like most VTubers, Rushia was signed to a talent agency. The agency had strict confidentiality policies. By posting that private chat with her manager, Rushia broke her non-disclosure agreement. So the agency fired her. Just like that, Rushia lost her platform. Not because she hurt anyone, but because her toxic fans pushed her so far, she broke the rules trying to defend herself. Later that year, another VTuber had a similar problem. In August 2022, a VTuber named Crony streamed a gaming session with several male VTubers, but most of Crony's fans were unicorns just like Rushia's. These obsessive fans hated seeing Crony interact with those male VTubers. They bombarded her live chat with insults. To escape the hostility, Crony took a 2-week break from streaming, but when she returned, she took a different approach. Instead of trying to appease her fans, she stood her ground. She tweeted, "After much consideration, I decided that I will be collaborating with whoever I want." The fact that she had to post that shows how controlling and toxic some VTuber fans can be. The members of this next fan base just can't get along. League of Legends.
Oh my God, thank God. We moved on. All right, I know about the League of Legends community. Y'all listen, League of Legends is the most toxic game I've ever been a part of. And not only that, it's also kind of funny, okay? The other day when I was playing League of Legends, true story, by the way, if you tell someone to KYS in the game, okay, you will get banned immediately, okay? Doesn't matter how you type it, whatever, right? Now, because of this, you know what I'm saying? That didn't stop the League community. No. They just get more creative, okay? At one point, there was a hook. There was a hook ping signal that they added recently to be like, hey, bait over here, bait this engagement, bait this person so they fight me. And people were using it to tell people to off themselves, so they took it out of the game, okay? I was in a game one time, okay, in League of Legends, and someone told me to slit my wrist and do push-ups. I'm so dead ass. I've never heard anyone creatively say some shit like that a day in my life. I was a little impressed. Honestly, I was like, damn, that's kind of good. Like, I respect the game. Like, this is poetry. Like, it's messed up, but like, it is a little bit poetic. You know what I'm saying? And then another time I was in League of Legends, bro. Okay, I'm so dead ass, bro. So in the game, you can ping items and it'll pop up in the chat and it'll be like Leandry's Torment. That's like the name of an item, right? But the first letter will start with an L, right? Like it's Leandry's Torment. I had someone to ping enough items to spell KYS, like the full word, like the kill yourself, like to the full phrase. They pinged like 15 something items in a row just to so that when you read it down, it said that. Like, yo, like League is crazy. Now, I listen, and there's no voice chat. Okay, this is over text chat that people are getting this creative. Imagine if they had voice comms. Imagine if they had voice comms. Just imagine. Just imagine. And I'm not gonna lie, listen, the toxicity doesn't bother me. It's just, to me, it's kind of funny. Because I'm like, damn, how are you this invested in finding ways to be toxic? Like, it's a game. You know what I'm like, bro, move. And I don't even play ranked. This is in like norms, which is just like for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Sometimes I'll just read the stuff people are saying. I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous.
Base that hates each other. No gaming fan base is as toxic as League of Legends.
No, I actually think League is the most toxic of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's more toxic than like Well, okay, I'll give it to League fans. They normally keep the toxicity like in game though. Like they're not like doxing people outside of the game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Wizard 101, when I was playing that game, like people were trying to like dox and swat people outside of the game. But like League, at least it's self-contained. I'll give it to the League community. It's normally self-contained for the most part. You know, they normally just keep it to themselves.
At least that's what players say. In 2024, a survey asked gamers which fan base was the worst. Around 36% picked League. What makes this fan base so bad?
That's crazy.
It's about how the players treat each other. League of Legends is built around teamwork. 5 players join forces to beat another team. Success depends on working together, but most players end up fighting their own teammates. If someone makes a mistake, their teammates explode. Players scream insults in the chat. Others go even further. They int. Inting is when a player deliberately...
that is one thing in League that I don't see in other games. People will just intentionally die and give the enemy team like a advantage when they're angry. No, like and the problem with League is like if you do bad, like your team will suffer so much because you're giving the other team like resources and money. So like, yeah, people in League will do this. They will just start losing on purpose because they're mad at you, like because you did one bad thing. They're like, you know what? If you're gonna throw the game with one bad play, I'm gonna just actually throw the game.
Dies over and over in the game. They do this to either troll or punish their own team. Either way, inting ruins the game for everyone. Riot Games, the company behind League, has tried to control the toxicity. They ban aggressive players, they added mute buttons. They even created a system to reward good behavior, but none of it worked. In 2020, 98% of players said that they have been harassed in-game. 98% is nearly every player.
No,
the players are this toxic during casual matches.
I love League.
Imagine what happens when money is at stake. League of Legends has massive esports tournaments, and these tournaments offer millions of dollars.
Here's the reason I love it is because like I don't view it as like personal attacks. I just think it's like I'm watching like human scum like fight each other. Like it's almost like I'm like watching like reality television. That's kind of how I feel, bro.
Money. The most famous team in League is T1. They've won countless championships, and their star player named Faker was insanely skilled. Fans called him the Michael Jordan of esports. But in 2020, the same fans who idolized T1 turned on them. That year, T1 failed to qualify for a major tournament. Fans blamed the team's coaches for benching Faker during the qualifiers. The coach who benched Faker received death threats. Other players began getting threats as well. T1's CEO had to plead with fans to stop. Some fans ignored the warning. By September 2020, T1 started tracking down those behind the threats to take legal action. This wasn't the only time fans turned on a professional League team. One team received an actual weapon in the mail. It was supposed to be some kind of warning. It's no wonder so many consider League of Legends the most toxic fan base in gaming. Up next is a fan base that operates like
I didn't remember any of this. I'm not really into the pro scene.
Fan base.
I knew they was gonna talk about Genshin. I knew Genshin was gonna be in this video.
The game Genshin Impact is more popular than people realize. It launched in 2020, just 5 years ago, but it already generated over $6.3 billion in revenue. More than 11 million people play the game every month. That's the population of a small country. But a game this big attracts all kinds of fans. Some of them are notorious for bullying, and sometimes they attack for surprising reasons. It's exactly what happened in 2022. An artist posted an illustration of Kaya, one of Genshin's main characters. It was just fan art, nothing controversial.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna guess what the problem is. They're gonna be like, you whitewashed him, and they're gonna go off crazy.
But the artist made one mistake. Kaya's skin tone was lighter than usual.
What did I say? All it took me was 3 seconds looking at the fan art, bro. That's all it took. Because I see that in the VTuber community all the time, too.
Small error caused chaos. Hardcore fans demanded the artist delete the drawing. One comment said, draw him correctly or don't draw him at all. That was harsh, but some fans went further. Someone stole the drawing, darkened Kaya's skin, and reposted it. They claimed they fixed the art. The artist even tried to apologize. They tweeted, I didn't mean to paint Kaya's skin color brightly. It turned into this color unintentionally. I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. But the apology didn't end the harassment. The attacks continued until the artist deleted their Twitter account. And this case was just the beginning. Genshin fans attack artists over little things, like drawing a character in the wrong outfit or the wrong pose. But it's not just artists who get attacked. Even actual employees working on the game have been targeted. In 2021, Genshin added a new character named Kokomi. Unfortunately, some players didn't like her, but they didn't just complain about the character. For some twisted reason, fans attacked the voice actress who played Kokomi. She was live streaming when the insults started. Her
like, once again, why do people go to the actors and actresses? I genuinely don't understand.
That was filled with hateful comments. It got so bad that she had to turn off the comments. Remember, this voice actress was just an employee. Later, she posted that she only wanted a relaxed and happy environment, but the Genshin mob didn't back off. And this wasn't.
See, this is why I'm never playing this game. Y'all always tell me to play it. No.
Of that year, Genshin celebrated its first anniversary.
Listen, I know people that have gotten canceled by the Genshin community for saying the names wrong on stream. One of my friends, that ass, said the name wrong, got giga canceled by Genshin fans. Imagine me playing Genshin, bro. I can't even say any of y'all's names in chat, okay? Respectfully, like I just tell y'all it's your personal nickname because I'm just that dumb, okay? God forbid I'm illiterate, bro. And then they try to spin it like you're racist for not being able to say this like name that's based off of like an Asian folklore character. Like, no, dog, I can't even say American names, man. I don't even know how to pronounce the word museum. You think I'm gonna know how to pronounce a name that's not even originally in English? Like, be so serious, bro. I would like to see you pronounce a name that's super Russian perfectly. You probably couldn't either. Like, shut up.
Fans expected huge rewards, but when the rewards were released, many were disappointed. They felt like the rewards weren't good enough. This time, they didn't just make hateful comments online. They tried to sink the whole ship. Thousands of Genshin fans went on the Google Play Store and review bombed the game. They all left 1-star reviews. On the Play Store, apps with low ratings can disappear from search results. So by review bombing the game, these fans were trying to bury it. The game's rating dropped from 4.5 stars to 2 stars. However, Google noticed what was happening, so Google deleted the fake reviews.
Google.
But the fact that Google was trying to save the game made fans even angrier. Now, Genshin fans started review bombing Google's apps like Google Classroom.
Of course. I didn't even think about this. Yo, it never stops, does it?
More than 20 apps across the Play Store were filled with fake negative reviews. The war only ended when the developers of Genshin Impact gave in. They added extra rewards to calm the fans down. If this community can sabotage their own game, what'll they do next? Up next is a fan base that chased away the creator of their game. Five Nights at Freddy's, the feral fan.
Well, I gotta give it to League. They don't really be bending the knee much either. They're just like, yeah, we did what we did. Go. Even the streamers talk the game like.
Five Nights at Freddy's launched in 2014.
Okay, I'll be honest. I don't think the FNAF. I think like communities like Five Nights at Freddy's and like Undertale, they have like this like weird cult following that like I think like just like give the game top in every scenario to the point where like it's like unreasonable. You know what I'm saying?
An instant hit. Players took on the role of a night guard trapped in a haunted pizza shop. The game was filled with hidden clues and mysteries waiting to be solved. The community grew fast, but as the fan base exploded, so did its darker side. The game was created by Scott Cawthon, and in the early days, Scott was very active in forums. Scott listened to fans and shaped new games around their ideas. Fans loved having that connection, but the closer Scott stayed to the community, the more demanding it became.
Yep, that's how it is.
FNAF 3 and 4 were released, but fans thought the games weren't scary enough. Others thought they were too easy. So angry fans attacked Scott directly. One fan even went after Scott's family. I mean, imagine threatening someone's family over a game. But the attacks didn't stop there. Later that year,
and it's Scott, like, why are you attacking the creator of a game you like? You like this thing, and you want him to do better, so you resort to attacking his family members. You don't think that's going to do the opposite effect? You don't think that's just going to make them bitter, resentful, and not want to do the game anymore? Like, sometimes I don't understand, like, optically, like, what people hope to accomplish by doing this dumb Like, you're not getting what you want, stupid. Like, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I like this thing. Let's murder the guy that created it. Hello? Who's going to make it now, stupid? Like, that's how dumb you sound. That's how dumb you sound. That's a more extreme example, but, like, hypothetically, like, that is how dumb you sound, bro. Like, you're like, yeah, I like this thing. Let's ruin and destroy the person's mental health who made it so that they totally want to make better stuff for us.
Released the first Five Nights at Freddy's book. His co-author was a woman named Kira. The fans couldn't find much about her online, so they concluded she didn't exist. They accused Scott of lying and attacked him again. Scott later clarified that Kira was a professional writer, but he told her to make her accounts private because he expected weirdos and creeps to stalk her. That means Scott realized how toxic the FNAF fandom was becoming. In 2016, it got worse.
Is that the docs of 87? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Spin-off called FNAF World.
That's a
The
good
game
one.
was buggy, so fans hated it. Scott took the game down, fixed the issues, and re-released it for free. But fans kept criticizing Scott, calling him a sellout. When Scott deleted the worst comments, they accused him of censorship. He simply couldn't win with them. By 2021, he had enough. He stepped away from Five Nights at Freddy's completely. After Scott left, new developers took over to keep the franchise alive. But the toxic fans treated them even worse. In 2024, a fan project called FNAF in Real Time was cancelled. The developers revealed they were receiving threatening messages from angry fans. The harassment shook them so much that they abandoned the game too. The community that made FNAF a hit was tearing it apart. One FNAF fan on Reddit said it best: "We literally can't have anything anymore." My friends, being a fan of something isn't an excuse to hurt people. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it's this: we can enjoy good things without tearing others down. Visual Venture.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like every fandom, when it gets big enough, it gets toxic, you know, to an extent. And like, there's only so much you can do as a creator of the thing. I think when you create like a piece of art, your level of control over your fans is less than if you like were like a streamer or a content creator. Like, I feel like YouTubers and stuff, their fans listen to them more directly because they're invested in them more personally, versus someone that like creates a thing and then like they're like, oh, they only are loyal to the thing, not the person that made the thing. So when the thing is no longer good, they attack the person that originally created it, not realizing it's counterproductive. Does that make sense? So I feel like that's why for a lot of fans of like things or products or games, they tend to just attack anything that's related to it because they don't view the people that created it as like the life force and as a part of the thing. It's like a separate entity to them without real, well, like it's not. Those people were needed to make the thing in the first place. So the reason you liked it is because of those people as well. But I think people are unable to separate the two. Versus like streamers or content creators, it's more their personality. So if they say something, you're more like, oh yeah, maybe we should chill out, you know? Which I feel like a lot of the times, like I feel like online communities, at least from content creators, they tend to have a little bit more control over their audience. Not significant degrees. I mean, once your audience gets big enough, like if you're like Mr. Beast big, like his audience is like damn near everyone. Like there's no control of that. But if you're like tinier or you're more like niche or you're more like a mid-sized content creator, like you can kind of normally dissuade your fans from certain things because they are more invested in you personally. And the people that love it, spread hate, suffer the worst from social anxiety. I think the reason these people do, I think a lot of people that spew this sort of stuff, not to say people that do this have social anxiety, I think a lot of them are like socially inept. Because if you were a normal person, you would not invest this much energy into doing this. You wouldn't. If you're resorting to doxing people on the internet, you genuinely have no hobbies and nothing else going for you. You just don't. Because no one else would care enough to invest their time into doing that at all. Unless maybe the person was like a predator or like someone like, you know, like a sort of like a .pdf file or something, right? Like then yeah, but otherwise I really feel like you're mainly just lacking fulfillment or you have too much free time. And so the one thing that you think brought you fulfillment, you're so emotionally attached to a point where it's irrational. Like, so you kind of react in ways that are irrational. It's almost like they view it as like their only source of joy. So it's like if someone like attacked like your family member and you just went scorched earth on them, like they kind of do that. But like that's not really optically rational if you think about like the circumstances of what's happening, you know? So, and there's also those people on the internet that like are just fine with purely just like with anything. So like they just like to stir the pot and they'll stir the pot in any fandom and they actually don't care and they're not invested in it at all. That happens all the time too. Like, you know, so many little threads and fan wars start from some person that's not a part of the fan base just wanting to stir the pot and watch the flames. That happens so often, it's ridiculous. Like it really does. So you got to be more like, I think for media and content, you need to view it from I am a viewer and that is it perspective. And if you no longer enjoy something, you no longer have to engage in it and you can maybe explain some criticism toward the thing, but like taking it this far is just ridiculous. Like, buddy, like what are you doing?